Good morning, traders, and welcome to FuturestraderElite. Venderman here. I'm going to give it a few moments for some people to show up and get on. If you're here, throw a message in chat. Let me know that you're waiting. I want to give it enough time before we jump in and break down some on the higher time frames, some levels and everything, and some things to go over from yesterday, overnight action coming into today's open. So hang tight, and we'll jump into the charts. If you're already live and with me, wave or now let me know in chat. I'm not gonna wait too long before we get started here. Make sure we give ourselves some ample time to go over some things. We got about 15 minutes before the market opens. Try and get some look at some things from yesterday, going into overnight action, coming into pre-market this morning to the opening bell. Start out on a lower time frame today. We are going to give it just a couple more minutes, and we'll jump into those charts. I will get prepared here into the chart, have a look at everything. Today I am going to be, this is an MNQ chart that we're looking at currently. I may switch over to NQ a little bit today on some evals, but I also might use a ATM strat today. I just built another ATM strat this morning for MNQ for risk management. I want to test it out a little bit. I tested a little bit in pre-market and had a couple good trades using the ATM. Hey, good morning, Melinda, or shall I say Melissa. Yesterday we had a discussion while we was live about where price was at. It was back here. We got this push up into these 4-hour zones, and over here, let me get my cursor, over here in this area, pulled back, went back up and tested overnight. And I'm sorry, we had a discussion about how far this might pull back, and so we pulled up the 1 hour and found this imbalance zone. We put this green imbalance zone in yesterday on the 1 hour. And good morning. And Jeff, after we put that imbalance in, you can see overnight we came down and filled this imbalance and straight shot all the way to this 4-hour zone up here. Huge move. We called this imbalance yesterday afternoon. tapped it this morning, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I think, and then just straight shot, like 200, a little over 200 points, and then straight up rejection. And now here we are. The pivot point, golden pivot, it's right around that 950 level. We've been talking about that 950 level quite a bit too. We was on it yesterday. We talked about it last week. That line there has been on the chart since sometime last week. You know, and now that it lands right at that golden pivot, you could see support right here. But that's on the 5 minutes. So let's hop over to the 4 hour. And we're going to take that green box off. I just wanted to leave it there so I could discuss that this morning about from yesterday. So on the 4 hour, we're crushing through a 4 hour zone here already on the low end right here. Our next 4 hour zone is this one down here, and it is 881 to 891. And then this one is going to be 725 to 735 down here. That's a 4 hour box now, so we got to switch that template. And then, of course, we got these overhead 4 hour boxes. This one here's 199 to 209, and that one up there is 229 to 239. And you know, we got this was a good push right here yesterday. We got close to the trend line, and this is pretty hard rejection here this morning. Question is, are we going to get caught up there at that golden pivot? You know, we're here on a 4 hour. Let's pull some some Fibonacci right here. Okay, so where are we at on the golden pivot, that 950 area? The 38.2 is hard to see what it's at. It looks like it's at about 24.9 something there. Well, let me get my crosshairs, I can tell you. About 905. So, and then the 50% fib is at 798, 800, 799, 61.8 is all the way down by the S1 pivot. That's interesting. The 61.8 being down by that S1 pivot, that'd be a pretty nice pullback, but then that's going to break our trend lines, which is fine. We got a bigger trend line down here at the bottom, but it would be nice to stay above this trend line here, this second one. And so it could get close. We'll see if they want to drag it down or if they're going to bounce this at the pivot. It's going to be a key thing for us right now is to see that. Now, let's move this to the 1 hour and see if we can find any more imbalance areas. You can see we got a big imbalance up top right here. That's on the 4 hour. I believe it was. Here on the 1 hour, we did have some imbalance. Let's get rid of these pivots. I mean them Fibonacci. Let's look at this here. We did have imbalance right here, from right there to right there, and look, it filled it this morning. So we got to take that off. That was on the 1 hour, and then we got a little bit down here at the S1 pivot. You know, we might ought to put that on there just in case, because there's some other stuff going on down there as well in this area. So say from about right there to right there, that's about not quite 40 points, but it's worth putting on there. So that's going to be a bullish imbalance. All right, so we got bullish imbalance on the 1 hour, the S1 pivot. We got a 4 hour box down here. We also have something else. Let me get the data box. What's down here? The prior open. Is that right? No, that's not right. This line is at 711. Oh yeah. No, I don't know what this is about. Maybe I need to move my box over here. Prior open 711. Anyhow, there's a line there. It's inside the imbalance zone, plus the 4-hour zone, plus the S1 pivot. So it's a lot of confluence there. This is the 1 hour, so you know, we can think we might ought to put this here. 13. We're going to do 816 to 836 down here for a 1 hour PEZ zone. See if I can get some tighter trend lines anywhere here. No, I'm not going to add one. We could add a trend line here from up here to here, but that's so close. I'm going to take this trend line off. So on the 1 hour, we're still in the 4-hour zone at the golden pivot with the 50 EMA both right there. That's some confluence there. So now that since we're in this 4-hour zone, you got to think we're going to be open in about 5 minutes. And this 4-hour zone, we're at 971. That 4-hour zone is 198. Have to be over 100 point move it to open if it bounces there. And then this is almost 100 point to the downside to that 4-hour zone. All right, let's move down to lower time frame here. Let's look at the 5 minute. See if there's any 5 minute imbalance to pay attention to. Just a little bit there to the downside, nothing up here. See if we're missing something back here. No. All right. Don't really see nothing yet. It had on this drive overnight put in big imbalance on the 5 minute chart from right here to right here. Huge zone, but then gave it all back in this leg. All right, so we're getting a little bit of something here. They couldn't push it no further. It's a hammer. I don't like that candle, but as long as they engulf that candle with this one and close on the 5 minute, that'd be fine. But excuse me, guys. Already losing my voice. So we got I'm gonna move this over to the 1 minute. If you guys have any questions, just throw them in chat. We can try to cover something right before the market opens. So at the market open, what are we going to be doing here? It's kind of sitting in an odd place, being down here at this 4-hour zone with this golden pivot and that 950 support line there. It's a pretty heavy downtrend right there since over last 2 hours or so. Steadily under the 50 EMA. I guess at the open, we're going to have to kind of watch for It's at 9, almost 25. Depending on how hard to open, how much, what the ATR is, they could fly up here and hit this structure right here and then turn it back down. We'll see. I'm gonna sit on my hands right out of the gate first, probably, just to see what kind of open we get. Might have to wait 15 minutes or so until they put in a 15-minute candle, find what the opening range is, and then move on from there with the trade plan. Got just over about a minute and a half left, I believe, before the bell. Hope everybody's prepared, calm, take some deep breaths. If you're sitting in front of your computer waiting on the bell to ring and your heartbeat is speeding up, then you don't have your emotions in check. It should be just another normal day. There shouldn't really be any excitement there. It's just another trade day. And there should be plenty of moves. As long as the ATR don't drop off, you know, early in the morning. It's been doing that several times over the last 2 weeks, and then it's nothing, choppy. Almost got to wait till later in the day and ATR pick up a little bit. Got about 30 seconds. We'll see what they do. Like right up here in this area right here. If they push this up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to, here I am talking about don't try to do anything yet. But I think I'm gonna try to short right there, right out of the gate. Now I am going to be using a ATM strat that I built this morning. It's a 1-to-1 with trailing stop. And the ATR is already too high for me to be using it, but oh well.
Stop spell.
Well, that was pretty fast. It worked good on that. It's a trailing 1-to-1. I'm just testing it out before I put it on any evals or funded accounts. I need to see it. Need to see how it works and how well it works. It's a 1-to-1 with a trailing with a at a 40-point take profit. It moves the stop to break even plus 10 ticks. Or I'm sorry, 10 tick, 40 tick. When it hits a profit target of 40 ticks, it'll move break even plus 10 ticks is what it's set at, and then it'll trail once it hits like 60 and 80 ticks. Good morning, Room Beats. How you doing, buddy? Nice little push here. This 137 up here. What is that? Prior close. up here. And what else we got up there? The prior high 217 is up there inside that imbalance up there, just above the 4 hour. That looks like a perfect sweep opportunity up there. We'll see. Time will tell. So we got a decent rejection. We got a decent rejection out of this first line. I'm gonna take that off. See if we get a decent rejection out of here. The stream might be lagging. You guys tell me. I can't see. I can't really tell what it's doing on your end. There will be some lag no matter what. The question is how bad is it? Because if it is, then I need to maybe try to work on some kind of settings. Getting a decent push here. I don't have any messages popping up as far as the stream. It says that everything that it's excellent. The health of the stream anyway. You know, I might try to go short again here at this prior close up here, or whatever that line when I said it was. Can't remember. Yeah, prior close up here. Prior close and prior high. Now let's kind of look to the left here and see. Look at this consolidation here. Yeah, I'll if it pushes it there, I'll probably have first reaction short out of that area.
Order submitted.
If we keep pushing up, that's going to put a big imbalance in on the 5-minute chart. But we got about 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minute candle closes. Jeff, let me know if it gets any better. I don't, that way I know, or if anybody else in the stream, if it's way behind. It shouldn't be. Are we going to get this push here to that prior close? up into the overbought territory on the momentum indicators. Pretty good, at least on the one and the 1 and the 2 are. The 5 minutes getting there. I'm going to take this probably right here.
Order filled. Stop filled.
What? What? Stop filled? I didn't even see a trade happening. I should have waited. I should have waited. Why didn't I wait? How's it going, Martin? Appreciate you joining in on us. Everybody welcome Martin. Martin, are you from Discord or did you find us somewhere else? Oh, is it going to push down, guys? I think they're going to give it to us. Oh, yeah.
Stop filled.
I might need to loosen up my trail there a little bit. It was following pretty tight, but I like to lock in gain, so let me move over into, I'm going to move over into an eval with this. Let's see here. Bear with me here. I gotta move some stuff around. All right, I think I got that there. All right. So that 5 minute candle closed. So here, let me draw this imbalance on the 5 minute. It's about the imbalance on the 5 minute chart right now. So 50 EMA coming into this box right in this area around 30. I'm going to be looking for what kind of pullback they do here. See if they can pull this back down towards the bottom of this box. Martin, no, you can join the Discord for free, and we stream in 5 days a week for free. That's all there is to it. Now that we have some imbalance here on this 5 minute, I'm going to be trying to pay attention to, are they going to try to get this another leg up? You know, what if they come up here and try to sweep this prior close before another leg down? We still got a few minutes here before we can put in the 15 minute opening range. So a lot of resistance on this line up here. So we will, I'm going to wait. I'm going to sit on my hands and wait for now. If I could find another good short entry, I want to go short and short into this box down here. It's possible that we don't get a leg up here, but it's still too early at the open. I don't just want to jump in that just yet. You know, right now we're trading micros, MNQ. Easier for the risk management side of things. I may switch into trading some minis and a little bit on some evals maybe, but for the time being, we're gonna hang out here in the micros. You know, looking for some base hits. That's it. You know, couple good trades, get a couple $100. Rotate to another account, copy trade to another account, whatever. I'm copying and copy trading these evals right this second, which I hadn't traded yet, but you know, I want to find the short. I might not get it because I don't want to short it here. I want to end up here before. I want the next leg up, but I might not get it, so I might have to take a long out of this box, and so that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to long. If they get down here to the bottom of this box, problem is they might just sweep the 50 and not even get to the bottom of the box. So that said, there's a little bit of imbalance on the 1 minute from 95 to 22. So, right. I'm just going to mark this real quick. I'm not going to leave this on here, but from about right here to right here. So ideally I'm thinking, well, we got the crossover, the imbalance on the 5 and the 1. Say I'm going to do something like that at 10, but then that leaves me more than I'm comfortable with if they try to retest this down here. So I'm going to move this down some and we'll see. You know, it gives it a chance to drain off the momentum indicators on the 1. It'll be oversold if it gets down here. The 2 minutes should be down pretty good. The 5 minutes rolling over on to the downside. So is it possible? Yes. Could they just sweep the 50? I mean, they just tagged the 50 with that wick, so it could be they just sweep into this box. I get left at the train station all the time. And then you just got to reevaluate, find another trade plan. For me, right now, this is the trade plan for myself. If I don't get filled, then I move on to the next. We don't do any chasing. We're not chasing price. Price needs to come to us. You have to be in charge of every trade you take and not let fear of missing out step in or your emotion step in, anything like that. Hopefully. See, this could be just a bounce off the 50. That's a possibility. If it is, then it means they probably want to leg this up, which is fine. Let them take it up. Depending on if they do that, if they can find legs and push it pretty hard, I'll still somewhere along the way be looking for a short play back into the zone. But there could be other trades set up along the way before it ever comes down here. You got to think if they push this up and break this prior close, they're probably going to attack that 4-hour box up there, possibly. See, we find some momentum here. Could play break structure play. Back to the upside. I like that. If it closes up here, that's pretty nice. or this could be up and then draw it back down. We'll see. That's the high. We got a lower high there. It needs to break that on the one so we can see. It needs to break it good too, not just get up here and do what it's doing. Okay, we take out this. I'll play break a structure on this wick over here if they take out the high. I don't see it though. Maybe I'll wait and see if they break it and retest it, because they could break that, get to this prior open or close, whatever it was, and if you take the break of structure here at 126, they might smack this zone, not even 5 to 10 points away, maybe sweep it and reject. So I'm going to hold off on that idea. All right, I'm going to pop this to the 15-minute real quick. That way we can put in a opening range, which it looks like we just broke out of. Oh no, that's all the way up here. I didn't see that wick on there. Put in an opening range here. All right, switch it back to the one. Look at that. Wick the high and rejection, what we was just talking about. Wow. All right, so we got our opening range here. What are we at? Let me click this box here. 124.50 all the way down to 986.75. So I'm going to wait. Now, if they can break out of the top of this range, let me take this trade off. I don't forget about it. If they break out the top of this range and can get through this 137 here, maybe come up, retest the top of the zone. Maybe play the retest there for the push higher. See how that works. So see, now we got, that's two trade plans. We got a plan to go long down here if we get the pull back into this crossover and this imbalance. We got a plan that if this breaks out, retaps the top of this box, go long for a push to maybe the 4-hour zone up there. Now, we need to get outside the box and close pretty good. You know, I don't want to see it close here. I need to see a candle push up here, close above 137, and then maybe retest this wick out on the next candle to this box for entry for maybe a leg higher. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice. Got about 7 seconds before this closes. I'm going to try it right here. We'll see. Because it could be rejection out of this zone here, or it could be retest for the move up. Still using the ATM strat. Want to see how well it works out and how much I need to adjust my stop. It stops me out really quick, so I might need to adjust some of my settings there. You know, with 2 micros, this is a about a $200 stop on a trade and $200 take profit, unless the trail kicks in and stops you out before it can hit the take profit. So it's looking, I don't like this reaction here. I was hoping to see a little more there as far as tap this for another leg up. So we might be getting a rejection here. See what they got. See if they got any legs under them, if they can push this. All right. So at least we move into break even. Okay. Not too bad. The stop works. And I'm trying to figure out the breathing room on it and how tight I keep it, you know. I might need to move my break even a little more into in the green. Maybe 15 ticks instead of 10. Matter of fact, no, I'm going to leave it the way it is for now. Keep testing it a little more. All right. Looks like they're trying to make that little push we was talking about, maybe. Decent little trade there. I think let me hop over and look at a 5-minute chart real quick on something else here. Well, yeah. That's it. We'll see if they get up there to that 4-hour zone overhead. Like I said, look at all this rejection back here in this area. So right now you got to think, okay, we got that line right there where it wicked out. We're not quite there yet over here. And then you still have some pretty good rejection to the left before you get to the 4-hour zone. Right now it's trying to break through all this resistance here, and it don't look too good for them just yet. You know, you say we get above that line there. Say we get above it. About 157. Ideally, it would need to be above 157. Close not on it, but break it. Close good on it. And maybe it tries to consolidate there for a push up. But we're going to have to get through that high. You guys trading on executing on NinjaTrader, or y'all executing on TradingView or some other platform? Let me know in chat. As you can see, I execute on NinjaTrader, but I do watch TradingView nonstop. I'll pull that over here real quick. And watch the 1, the 2, and the 5-minute all on this chart. Non-stop. It's always up on another screen. because NinjaTrader tries to bog down all the indicators that I've built for it. It'll make it lag or freeze up if I try to have too many days to load on my chart. And I like to keep like 180 days or better so that I can flip back and forth while I'm discussing things to the higher time frame and have enough data. So with TradingView open, I can still see all the support and resistance lines, and the kill zones on there too, and the buy sell signals. And then I got the a few other things on that one that I watch. So that they're going to try to run this up, tap this 4-hour zone. I'm shorting up here, first reaction, because we are overextended on the 1, 2, and 5 minute chart on the kill zone indicator, and there's not a lot of room for expansion. So I'm going to try to do first reaction short at a whole number, 200. TradingView. Nothing wrong with that. I used to execute from there as well. Took me a while to decide to get over NinjaTrader, but once I got it set up and everything and learned the platform, I love it. I love it way more than TradingView for execution. And then we got another 4-hour zone up here inside that imbalance zone, which I might need to flip over to the 4-hour chart and make sure that's right and make sure I didn't misplace a box. But there could be two that close up there. There's a whole lot of resistance up here now, and we're even, you know, if they can keep driving, we're getting close. There's a high time 4-hour trend line up here at 262 on this candle. I might get stopped out here, but I think we're going to get some rejection because then there's that prior highs, that green line. Let me check the data box. I think that's what that green line is. Yeah, prior high. And it threw my stop in above that. So if they don't sweep that prior high, I might be in for the trade and get the win. But or they could get reaction out of here. Okay, first reaction short. Yeah, that thing is definitely too tight. The ATM is, so I might have to make some adjustments. Let's see here. 40-point trigger, moves in 10, 60 and trails. Well, no, I'm going to leave it that way for now. It's hard to think that they would try to push this up much more here because there's not much room for expansion on the indicator, momentum indicator, but it can hang out in the overbought territory for quite some time and still drive up. It's just a day-by-day basis. It being early in the day, still. It's possible that does do that. Like it could bleed off a little bit, but turn around. I was just looking back here at this. I'd taken that trade on this and it stopped me out, but there was a couple opportunities here to still play the retest of the top of this range box and get picked up, especially if it was on one of these two candles right here, these red ones. Get sucked up and then get this drive. That'd have been a beautiful trade. Beautiful, beautiful trade. I distract myself, I think, when I'm talking and don't see some things on the chart that I should be seeing, whereas when I'm not streaming, I'm super focused on everything going on. So we get some rejection here, even though we got this imbalance on the 5 minute. We were so extended here on this leg that, you know, it might not be any time soon unless they want to drop it hard. You know, if they decide to drop this hard, I definitely take the long out of this crossover in these zones down here, but they might only come back and test the top of this box, and then after that maybe the 50 EMA. I'm going to extend these here a little bit for now. $22. Something like that. Someone was asking me about that earlier, Martin. What's the... They're most times streams will lag, but they shouldn't be lagging that far behind. Can y'all give me some kind of idea on how much it might be? I'll try to I can try to readjust some settings, but I don't know if I can do it while I'm live. I'm still here, guys. I'm just trying to look through some things as far as the settings go to see if there's something I can change while I'm live. I want to do a small test to see if I can catch how delayed it might be on my end. And I'm going to say a word, and then I want you to type it in chat so I can kind of see the word is now. I'm thinking that it might be about 15 seconds maybe. Okay, I don't know. Let me look at something then real quick. Okay. I think that I can't change any settings while I'm live. I didn't think I could, but we are going to tomorrow we will stream. I will change the settings today to a couple of different things. And then we will, hopefully if all you guys are back tomorrow, we can test it tomorrow. I think that the settings that I found are going to make a difference. So we'll test it tomorrow. Sorry about that, guys. I think that's a little longer than it needs to be. We can fix that. So it looks like we came back down and tapped the top of that box again. We had discussed early on about they might drop this down, retest this box for another leg, or possibly come down to the 50.
Connection lost.
I got to messing around with something, and it seems like now everything wants to freeze up a little bit. Bear with me here. Technical difficulties again, it seems like. All right, looks like I got it back. Maybe. Okay. It shouldn't be a 1.5 to 2 minutes now. Here in a second. Well, maybe. I'm still here. I'm trying to see if there's something I can do without stopping or something I can do while I'm live streaming to fix it. I know that there's one of these settings that I can't change. Probably the most important one. I can't change it unless I quit streaming. So I might have to wait till tomorrow to change that one. Or until after the stream, and then tomorrow we should be good to go. I appreciate you guys letting me know about the stream. Melinda and Martin, Jeff. Your team, everybody that's trying to help me on my end to get this set, but it might be tomorrow before it's 100% better. I went ahead and hooked my landline into my computer. I didn't realize it was running off Wi-Fi. That might have had something to do with some of it too. I don't know why it was unplugged unless, I don't remember. I might have been working on my computer and never plugged it back up. Martin, you was asking about people using Trade-Evate. I'm assuming you're talking about trading from Trade-Evate. I don't know if there's anyone on here, but I know there are. There are people in the Discord that trade from Trade-Evate, I'm pretty sure. Looks like we're getting this pushed down. Swept the 50 EMA. Are they going to sweep for a leg up here? Because the 1 minute's oversold almost. Not quite. I mean, there's still some room for expansion to the downside. I don't know if it's enough expansion in the momentum indicator to get us to our crossover imbalance down here. But if it does, I'm going long in this crossover somewhere. Although they could pull this back to the 950 line. No, I'm sorry, not that's down by the golden pivot. This line that we put in up here, I'm going to take that off. And they could come back here and try to protect this low right here at 35. So, you know, if we do get the pull back, it could just be to the top side of this box. I'm going to try to short it down to that area. Although this could just be the sweep of the 50 EMA. See if we can lock in on the 91. Are they going to stop me out? Looks like a stop out, more than likely. Yeah, it's okay. Proper risk management. Now I could take it off and not even use it and say, do that there. And then say I want to cover down here with one. And then cover down here, and then get two, cover one. Now that put me in with that, and cover three, and then put a buy stop in if it goes my way. I'd like to see them come down here, tag this limit, cover one, come down here, cover one, and go long two in this area for maybe a bounce before another leg down if they're going to keep pushing to the downside. And then I'm going to leave my stop out of the way so I give this room to breathe in case they test this 50 EMA, pop it up. I might dollar cost average in some more if this goes against me up here a little bit. Really looking for the drop though into this area. And if they don't protect this low over here, like if they do push this down and they don't bounce in this area right here, then they're more than likely going to try to push down in the inside of this somewhere. I like playing reversals on my trades. Like I like to trade short, cover, and go long all in the same area if they'll play out in my favor. Nice. So I'll move this stop in so that that don't go against me, but I'd like to see us get us another push down into this area and see if they protect this low like that. And then I'm going to put in a stop down here. And then I'm going to put a sell in up here. And another one right here just to protect myself. See if they suck this back up. Move these stops in a little bit. Oh, I don't want to be out of both of them at one time. Oh well, I'll let it be what it is. Still executed cleanly, played out the way we was discussing. And that's kind of what I was looking for. I was hoping that we'd have got a bounce higher, and we probably will. Now that stopped me out. But you see, we wicked right down in our order area. They was protecting this low. Got to bounce back, but we might not get everything we want. If they do try to drive this up, they could still take a leg down, but come up here and tag this area right here, because there's imbalance right here on this chart. And a lot of times, if you get a green candle put in, it will tag the wick on the candle before right there and then drop. That's something to watch for, because see how this candle dropped with a wick? This candle wick down, and this one got put in. This wick came all the way back up and crossed over this wick. That's how they keep imbalance out of the chart. So really looking at, are they gonna, this is the area that we had been looking at down here. I'm gonna put an order down here to see if they try to protect this area down here. I'm just gonna try to take 1 micro for now, because they could get down here and push a little further, but they'll be overdoing it on the expansion of the momentum indicator. Which don't mean they can't do it. It's just ideally. Yep. I think that I'm hoping maybe we get a bounce out of this 5-minute imbalance area. If we don't, then they're going to push this harder to the downside. Possibly not even catch at the pivot here. So we'll wait and see what happens. Looks like they're stalling it out down here. We'll see. The 1 and the 2 minutes oversold pretty good. The 5 minutes getting down in there. I'd like to see a pretty good bounce out of here. This is what we wanted to get filled in the first place. I'm going to protect myself just in case. But I mean, ideally, I'd be thinking of a decent push back up if I can give it enough room to breathe, which I probably will get stopped out, but just like that. That wasn't much of a bounce out of their initial bounces I would have liked. And they might want to, like I was saying, push this on down further. We got this 4-hour zone down here. I'm going to switch over to the 4-hour chart real quick. Take a look at a couple things here. So really looking at this is that 4-hour zone is not right. This needs to be down here. Somewhere from about 963. We're going to do 963 to 974, which puts that a lot closer to the golden pivot. Look at all this rejection up here in this area. Huge, huge candle to the downside. All right, so back to the 1 minute. So they've just about filled all this imbalance. So we're taking all that's the range box, I'm sorry. All this imbalance, so we can remove that. I'm going to remove this one. Clean this up a little bit. So now it put our 4-hour chart down here, you know, within 12 points of the golden pivot and that 950 line. So, you know, they could bounce this right here, or they could push this on down and sweep all this area and maybe get a bounce out of the golden pivot. ATR is up around 22. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is predictably when it's time to go for the long, everything's screaming bearish, or screaming it's time to short. That's usually when you're going to find your best entries for the long. You know, if they consolidate here at the bottom of the range box, I feel like we got some room to expand to the downside, especially on the 5-minute chart. But normally the best long positions after a move to the downside, all your momentum indicators and everything else will be screaming, you know, bearish, 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 and then it would have been ended up being a good long. But that's also usually a better scenario when you're in a bullish trend.
Order filled.
What in the world? How do I got order filled? I didn't even have an order down there. Oh my gosh. What is going on? What in the world? I must have left an order open on another chart. Golly.
Order filled.
Oh well. Now it's time to try to manage the trade, I guess. Nope, 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 nope. This is crazy. What's that other account? These are unfunded accounts too. My goodness.
Order canceled. Order filled.
Oh,
Order canceled.
what?
Order filled. Order filled.
My golly.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Hopefully it'll expand. Maybe I'll get lucky with this one. That other funded account's down just under $100. That's my mistake. I must have left an order open somewhere under one of them other accounts. Maybe we get the expansion out of here and get a better push. Give it a little room to breathe. Yeah, give it some room to breathe. Keep pushing hard. You know, I'd like to see it get back up to the break of structure right up here, ideally. So they went on and pushed a short down, swept through the area like we had discussed, said they might want to sweep that 4-hour box and that pivot and 950 line. They swept it right here. Follow this tight so I can lock in on this funded account. Blows my mind that I left open orders on some other chart when I was in it. It happens though. Come on, keep pushing. Push. Come on, give us the push. Expand. We need one good push, one more hard candle. I might be following too tight with my stop though. Yeah, that's all right. So I'm gonna get out of that, and then I need to go back and find this other account. I think it's this one here. I'm gonna take this one and see if we can get the expansion in this account.
Order filled. Order submitted.
Still looking for them to try to test this break of structure here. They should find support here and build this and maybe get us a decent little drive back to the top side. We're quite a ways from the 50 EMA. Have you guys ever done that? Left some orders sitting on your chart open and get filled, and all of a sudden see one of your accounts moving around?
Order submitted.
All right, that's the expansion I'm looking for. I'm gonna follow this tight with one of these in case it pops back, and then I'll move this one
Filled.
further in case that expansion opens up. Put me some more protection down here. Lock in them gains. I need this to push hard one more good time. I need to give this room to breathe. Trying to get this funded account back in the green. It wouldn't have been so bad had it filled some evals, but that was 2 funded accounts that got triggered somehow. Surely this thing ain't gonna come all the way back. Gotta give it room to breathe. 9 times out of 10, I leave a lot on the table because I stop out too soon. All right, there we go. Expansion. See, I would have normally been stopped out of this trade and walked away, but I want to try to get this thing back in the green on this trade. But we're going to have to break here. It needs to push, and it needs to break hard. If we can break on, there we go. It should push even harder if we break that. I'm moving there though, whatever. If it can either push or stop me out, I'm back in the green, so. Maybe I should move this down here.
Order
No.
filled.
Well,
Order canceled.
I'm only 21 in the green, hey guys, but I'm back in the green. That thing was $100 in the red, nothing like that. So overall in all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 accounts that I've been through since the market opened. Didn't mean to be in those accounts just now, but they're both green, not very green, but I'm gonna hold off from messing with them again just yet, because I don't, when situations arise like that out of nowhere, then I'm going to rotate out and let them be what they are for now. See if we break this structure here. It hadn't quite broke. I mean, it did, but not very good. It kind of closed on it. So yeah, Melinda, that's I could see how that would be gut wrenching for sure. I didn't like it when that just happened. Well, because you're not paying attention to those accounts and they're not even pulled up on your chart, but they're over there trading. We managed to work through it with no emotion, you know. Took it step by step. Evaluated the chart and still was able to save them for now. So that's all that matters. And one of the funded, one of the 25Ks, we got over a base hit. In it, I probably won't trade it again. It's over 100 off of that ordeal that just happened. So I'll probably let it be where that one is for now. Wait and see what else we have set up on these charts worth trying to tackle. That's what we called there off this bounce. Said push back to the 50 EMA. Of course, had I let mine breathe instead of move it so tight, that was where my take profit was up there. So now we're going to have to see, is this going to be a sweep right here of the 50 EMA for another leg down? That's kind of what I feel might be coming myself. After this leg down, decent little bounce off the golden pivot sweep into the sweep of the 50 EMA. You know, that'll put us another lower high. If they can come back down here and tackle this low and head to this 4-hour box. And then we have a little bit of imbalance down here to the downside with a trend line going through it. So I need to adjust I'm good for now. I'm gonna have to go in here and mess with my copy trader. Make sure all that's set up right. Oh. Crazy thing is, I don't even remember being in them funded accounts since I've been on today. So I don't know how there was an order down there that triggered for that. No, well, not going to ponder on it. What's done is done. Yep. And then after the stream today, I'm going to adjust some settings in it. I'm going to put it to a different latency setting, and it should be a lot better tomorrow. And then if you guys are back on with me, you can let me know. I'd like it to be as close as possible. It's the whole reason we're doing it. How's everybody doing today? Is everybody green? I'm sure some of y'all have taken some trades today by now.
Breaking news, Donald Trump received
I think we are better off that we might reject it to 50 myself, but we'll see. I mean, that don't mean that we won't, that we can't bounce. You know, this could be a rejection here of the 50 EMA, and just for a small leg down, they could come down here and test this break of structure right here at 12. We're going to say something like this right here. They could test this break of structure and then bounce here. They could just not even tag it and bounce. When you're looking at, especially if you're going to be scalping and you look at areas like this and you got the 50 EMA and the momentum indicators way over bought, and you get your first red candle up there and then you got your crossover, you can be expecting some more downside. But that don't necessarily mean it's going to be a leg downtown over here. It could just come back to this break of structure right here, retest for the next leg up. You always got to be prepared for the move both ways, especially if you're going to be a bull and a bear. You got to be aware of entries, exits, targets, and I base all mine are usually based on structure. I very rarely say, oh, I'm going to take 5 points here, I'm going to take 10. I base them on structure, and then I usually follow really tight with my stops and get stopped out more often than not too soon in a trade. Sometimes I'll let them breathe, especially if I get in with, say, a few contracts. I might stop out of one or two pretty fast and let the very last one ride, give it more breathing room, or leave it at break even or just above. But Melinda, you up and down, but yeah, it's okay. We all have them. Every trader does, and if they say they don't, they're lying to you. I wouldn't listen to that no more. As long as you have some good risk management and can keep your emotions at bay, you'll be just fine. ATR is still up around 25. Still sitting in pretty good shape up here around the 50 EMA right now. You know, I wouldn't be too excited about the leg down yet unless we break below structure here. Then I would be thinking, okay. Plus, you see our momentum indicator down here. Now it's sideways up here in the overbought area. So, you know, they could chop this around right here, try and decide if they want to take a leg up, take a leg down. The most important thing is that we are prepared for whatever they decide to do as far as structure goes. And if you are new here and want to learn a lot more about the way I trade or the way we trade at FTE and what I teach, then I have the precision trading course that can be purchased at gumroad.com. If anybody was interested in that, it goes a little deeper. I'm not going to say that they won't push this long here, but I won't take the long here. And the number one reason I won't take it right here is because the momentum indicators do not have enough expansion in them for me to do it. I mean, it could go up another 100 points, but for me, if I'm going to see 100-point move, I'd rather see the momentum indicator down here in the oversold territory and get my entry down here on the momentum indicator, not get it up here. You're running a risk trying to take a long up here and expect much out of it. I'm not saying it can't do it. I'm just saying in my risk assessment, I can't trade the long out of this area. The only way I could do that is if I knew. You can see when momentum comes into a chart, into the candles. You can see it. If you've been watching charts long enough, you'll see the momentum difference. And yeah, I might do it, but I'll only do it to scalp if this momentum indicator is up here. How do you use the momentum indicator? So if you look at this, inside this momentum indicator, this is the kill zone indicator. These are precision entry boxes that I built into it. And you see this red dot glow right here? These red dots are considered early confirmation of a reversal, not a buy signal, not a sell signal. They're early confirmation that there's a reversal in play. Kind of like if you look back here on this chart and you got this green dot down here, and that's on the close of this candle right here, 953, hardly any pullback, and then look at this push. So yeah, when you look at it, you can say, well, man, that could have been a buy signal. Well, that's not considered a buy signal. It's considered, not saying you can't buy it on the dot, but I mean, trust me, I've done it, but it's considered an early reversal. Ideally, what you would like to see is how this buy signal got put in here, and this green dot got put in on the second one. On the second candle, you would want the green dot and the arrow to line up together, plus maybe some other confluence on your chart. But it don't necessarily have to be all that. When you get into an oversold territory with a leg like this, I've bought on these dots plenty of times for these little pushes right here for the early crossover. And you know, risk management wise, you go in small. You can always add into a trade. Say if it's going with you, you can add one more, two more, you know, and then cover all together at the same time at the top. You don't want to add in and scale out, because then that's going to move your average from down here to up here. So usually if I scale into a trade that's going my way, I'll cover all of them at the same time. But anyhow, the ones that glow, like these green ones back here, in the precision, if they cross over inside the precision entry zones, they glow, which act more like a more confirmation of the reversal instead of just not glowing. Now these boxes can be adjusted. These are just what I have mine set at, and you can move these boxes around, and I may end up moving mine because really these are from 40 to 60 at the top and bottom. And if you move them a little tighter to the 0 yard line, say like 30 to 50 on the bottom and 30 feet at the top, sometimes every day is a little bit different, but they sometimes the signals that they throw for the reversal are more meaningful when I move these boxes closer. But just at a glance, when I look at this momentum indicator, it helps me decide, like I was saying about going long here, I couldn't really do it because of where this is at. I don't really want to get long midway of a leg like this if my indicator is all the way up here overbought. But I also watch it on the 2 minute and the 5 minute. See, if the 1 minute is overbought and there's plenty of expansion in the 5 minute chart on this indicator, then we could get the push up here, and this will just go sideways up here in the 80 level, 60 to 80, 70 or 80. So it ain't saying you can't take the long out of this area when this is like this. That's why I watch the 1, 2, and 5 minute on other chart all the time, because they all got to kind of work together. Now, if the 2 minute and the 5 minute were up here like this in the overbought, and then, you know, I would be thinking, okay, all three are up there, I'm definitely going to be looking for a short play. If all three, 1, 2, and 5 minute are down here, I'm looking for the long entry for sure. And here, I'll pull it over just so you can see. If you look at this chart right here, this 1 minute is way overbought and it's chopping. The 2 minute is getting close to the 80, but look at all the expansion over here on the 5 minute that we still have. Both of these. And so what you could get with this, how this would work is this one can get up here and roll over. Both of these could be rolling over and you might get another leg back, but it might only come down here to this break of structure at say 13, or it could come down here. And then, but then you have all this expansion. So these could roll over and get a pullback while this still has expansion to the upside and gets them all closer in line before a bigger move to the upside. I hope all that made sense. If it didn't, if you have any questions, just let me know. Or if I need to explain something any different or didn't give enough detail, I guess. Excuse me, guys. Oh, you're welcome, Melinda. Anytime, anytime. So, what I'm going to be looking for currently is, let's see here. So we're getting this push up, and I got, like I said, I got the expansion on the 5 minutes still go, but you know, I don't see it. It's not, unless they're going to just decide to slow grind this and slow the ATR down, which they are. It's at 18. So I'm still looking for this to put in a lower high somewhere. It could be all the way up here on this line, 157. This prior close was 137 or something. You know, we could still get up in this area and then figure out what's going on here. We could test this, still put in a lower high. Making that money. Great job. Like it. I love it. Staying green, that's what it's all about. I'm going to stay patient here for a moment until I see something a little better to set up. This is a little sort of choppy to me. Right now, the trade to be in was down here out of this, which I took. I should have held on to at least one of those. But, you know, it is what it is. So now all I can do is wait and see what my next best option is going to be here. That's almost like a funky little head and shoulder right there on that 1 minute. Sure is. Let's see what they got going on right here. Say we go there. Neckline. Neckline. If they can break this hard, take out this low and this low in one candle, we need to start thinking that they're about to move us to the downside. But we can only make that decision, confirmation, if they do that. It's going to have to be a hard candle, not one of these little slow candles and then 1, 2, 3. I need to see momentum to the downside right here. Yeah, I'm kind of in line with the thinking there, Martin, as well. I think the short might be incoming, but we don't really have. We don't really. I'm not sold on that just yet. And I tell you why I'm not sold on that, because this right here, this whole area, could be starting the start of our chop zone. And so until they prove us otherwise, I'm going to have to think, well, seems like we're going in the chop, which is about that time it seems like that it would start doing it. I mean, we have over 10 minutes there of movement in that zone, about 60 points or so it looks like. So if they were to drop this down here and tag the bottom of this box and then move this and then bounce this, I really think we're going to be into the chop territory for sure. They're going to have to break one way or another. And I hope that they do break one way or another, because I'd like to get some more trading in before late day today, or while we're still on the stream, if you know what I mean. Which we got a ways to go anyway. If anybody is interested, I threw the Gumroad link into the chat. There you can see all the things, the indicators that I've built for TradingView or for NinjaTrader, and or the precision trading course, or anything else if you had wanted to look into anything like that. And then, of course, right now, Bullinox has 89% off on their evals. You can use code FTE. That puts the, I think their 50K accounts are like $19.25, I think. You pay less up front, but then you have to pay activation fee. Whereas with some of these props, you pay more up front with no activation fee. But at the end of the day, a lot of them, to me, they wash each other out. It just depends on which way you want to go. Yeah, no problem, Melinda. No problem. Looks like we did enter to the chop zone, is what it's looking like right now. If you guys have any questions about anything while we wait, throw them in chat. Good morning, Swang. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to say how, and then as soon as I say it and you hear it, type it into the chat as soon as you hear me say it, and then we'll test it and see on my end how. Yeah, it looks like we're still inside the chop zone. It threw a sell signal on the 1 minute, but that don't mean much with what's going on right now. So I never seen you type how, so either you didn't hear it or it's delayed by more than seconds. It's more like minutes. Which we discussed something about that earlier on the in the chat. I'm going to change some settings today after the stream, and hopefully tomorrow is a lot better. It should be. I hope that everybody is just kind of sitting on their hands with this. Not much going on, really. And while there's not much going on, I'm going to pause myself real quick and or mute myself real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Natalie, I see that you said you want to try. So give me just a second here. Now. Okay, looks like about maybe right around 25 seconds is what it looks like. It's got to be right in around that area. I used the old stopwatch on the phone that time. Yeah, we can clean that up quite a bit. I think about the best we could probably get it is 5 to 10 seconds maybe. But I'll adjust those settings today, like I said. We'll see tomorrow how that plays out. I see we broke out of our chop zone to the downside. And question is where we're going to go from here. The 1 and the 2 minute are oversold. Pretty heavy in the 80. Okay, cool. I forgot I had the time thing on my chart there. My candle close thing. Okay. I think we can clean that up quite a bit. Tomorrow should be better. I appreciate all you guys chiming in and letting me know. Want this to run as smoothly as possible. Trying to eyeball some things here on the chart to the downside. Well, I guess I should be eyeballing them on NinjaTrader. I'm looking at TradingView. Let's take a shift here, and you know, I just don't know that we could be getting a bounce out of this area down here because they could want to protect this low. Say when we get down to over here, that's about 9:30 or so. So you know, they could come down here, snag this area, sweep that pivot again, and tag this box and protect that low. So what we'll be hoping will happen, you know, I may try to long out of this box here. They could protect it right here. They could leg this up here, but we'll wait and see, or I'll wait and see if they come back down here. If they did get back down into this box, it could almost be like a double bottom. It would be close enough as a double bottom, even if it don't tag the very low. But I guess we can get rid of our chop zone, clean this up, neckline. That's a nice bounce out of the 4-hour zone down here. Real nice bounce. 40 points or better already right there. It's a pretty impressive little leg there. Wonder if we can get expansion into the 50 EMA.
Order filled.
I'm gonna see if we can. Say, come back up to here maybe.
Order submitted.
Hopefully we don't give all that back, but I will buy some more if it pulls back down into that area again.
Order filled.
Oh my gosh, that is not what I meant to do.
Order filled.
Well, I meant to average in and instead I accidentally sold it. That happens sometimes too, I guess. So I automatically took a hit by not paying attention to what button my cursor was on. It's all right though. That's all right.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order filled.
Try to give this a moment to breathe here. See if we can get a better push out of here. I could come down here and flag this a little bit and push back up, or they may try to break it down.
Order filled. Order submitted.
Acting like they want to push this on down.
Order filled.
My goodness. I keep pressing the wrong button. I'm tearing myself up by pressing the wrong buttons.
Order filled.
Oh well.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
Might have to get a push out of this area for sure if it picks all them up.
Order cancel. Order cancel. Order bill.
Nice. Now keep on pushing. expand. We need some expansion, not another leg down. No. Oh well. Oh well. Let's see here. Let me get out right there. And then there. 2, 3, 4. Let's see here. Go on and tag it and drop my average down some more.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Come on, push. Protect that low.
Order filled.
Come on. Push. Push. Are we gonna get to push? Man, should have left them orders down there. That would have got me down there for the bounce. Probably could have scaled out or scalped out of this, but maybe we get to push out of that. Maybe they want to protect that low down there.
Order filled.
Come on, let's get this push. Come on, push it. Let's go.
Filled. Order submitted.
Come on, let's go. Push it. There you go. Come on. Let's go. Push.
Order
Big candle. Where's our big candle at?
order filled. Order submitted.
Nice.
Order submitted.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Expansion. Come on, we got a lot of expansion we can put in on that indicator. Let's go.
Order submitted.
Now give them to me right there. Don't stop me out. Tag them. Break a structure, tag it. No.
Filled.
Try to leave one here for some room to breathe, maybe. You know, see what kind of expansion they might really get. I don't want to give them too much, though. Come down here and stop me out and tag this break of structure right here, watch. And then take a leg up. Excuse me.
Order filled.
Yep. Break a structure retest right there. I wouldn't be surprised if they turn this around, take another leg up.
Cancel.
It was a really nice trade. Whip down there into that box. Nice bounce out of that box. 941, 208 or so. 940 to 11. Nice trade. So all right. So question is, are they gonna, this is kind of ugly here where they put in this leg and that's that red candle there. It wasn't engulfing on the green candle, but it was a retest of structure right there. Can we get full expansion out of it though to break the 50 EMA and keep moving up? Did any of you guys catch that out of that box down there for the long? See if we can find us another clean setup here. Oh, nice. Cole said he caught the short out of the box that we had earlier in the chop. Nice. Melinda got her scalp long. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Slow and steady. Base hits. Most of the imbalance I could find on the 5-minute chart's already pretty much been filled for the most part, so can't really, there ain't nothing there to draw on really. We got a little bit from looks like, let's put it on the chart so we see it. Looks like we have some right here. Let me double check and confirm. Yeah, it's close enough. Somewhere right in there to where there's a little bit of imbalance on the 5-minute left that could be tagged. Now, what does this line up with? It lines up with the fact that what if they drive this up and sweep the 50 EMA, which is right here coming below it. If they push higher, sweep the 50, would go straight into that imbalance. Congratulations to Cole. Says he took a first payout on Take Profit to fund another eval. Green on all his accounts. Congratulations. That's great. I'm green across the board, but I got 2 more funded accounts that the ones that I got back green earlier that I'd like to put a little bit more in before I'm done today. I only got like 15-20 bucks in them when I started trading them to protect them when they went red on that auto fill from whatever happened. But I'm going to try to maybe see if I can find a couple clean trades and get some base hits there. Oh, Melinda's scalping. The scalp queen today, 72 to 66. Great job. I don't see anything for me to be messing with on the chart that's tradable. You know, if I can see them come up and tag the imbalance above the 50 EMA, I might try to take a short out of there, depending on what it looks like when it's up there. And then other than that, I might think about shorting the low of the day if they try to leg this back down. Because if they don't, if they take a leg back down and they break this low and then this low, we're going to say a line in the sand. If they break 930 to the downside, they're going to this 4-hour box, and they're probably going to do it pretty fast, more than likely. Let me look to the left of the chart real quick. Ooh, there's a little box back there. I don't know why. It must have been from yesterday. We're going to take that off. Yeah. So if they break below 930, I'm going to be expecting a short play to the 4-hour zone down here. And then if they can continue past that, we got a high time trend line down there. But as you can see, they're driving up to our imbalance up here above the 50 EMA. Now this could be a short play, so be careful with this. ATR is still around 21. You know, if yeah, if we get back down in this zone and then in this area, it really depends on how it gets there and what it looks like when it is getting there. And if they do break 930, how hard do they break? Maybe try to take a retest of that, of the low, for something to the downside possibly. So we got the imbalance filled. Question is are we going to find rejection up here inside that area? That's a sweep of the 50. Or are they going to try to push this higher? Beautiful short. Wow. Very nice. I guess I should have clicked that sell button. I was going to. Nice leg down. 23 to 987. Wow. Would have been a great base hit for sure.
Order filled.
I did not mean to do that.
Order canceled.
Nope, not happening. I have to remove my hands from the mouse because I did not mean to hit that button. Nice rejection out of the imbalance though. I guess I can take that box off. Let's see if I can find anything to the top side, which I did. So it looks like let me draw it on the chart. Let's see here. Man, is that right? That's way up there. All right. Let's say I think it's somewhere right there. Yeah, it's somewhere right up there. There's some more imbalance that was left on the 5-minute chart. It'd be a pretty big drive from here. It's 100 points away, but I don't see any expansion hollering at me that that's going to get there real fast in the momentum indicator, but it's NQ, so could do it in a minute if it wanted to, I reckon. No, it almost seems like I can't have a tight stop any day. Either I got to use the ATM and let it do its job, or trade manually, and when I do, I I always put them too tight anyway. Most of the time. Sometimes I give them enough room to breathe a little while. The stop loss on today's bracket that I built is 25 points, I believe. Yeah, 100 ticks. That's 25 points. It's a 1-to-1. 100 tick stop loss, 100 tick take profit, but then I got a trailing stop built into it for break even and profit trigger so that it starts trailing, you know, I think once it hits 60 ticks maybe. Oh yeah, 20 ticks is a stop loss. Yeah, I don't, I mean, that's 5 points. That's way too tight. And it's usually probably about as tight as I put them on there when I'm manually trading. I need to stop doing that. But, you know, it's about locking in the green. The problem is a lot of times you leave some on the table. If it finds expansion. So I understand completely. I built that ATM with the thought process of it being about risk management, you know, and a lot of people do a negative risk to reward ratio. You know, they give sometimes double or 3 times what their profit is, and I'm not willing to let my trade go negative that far compared to my take profit. So on a clean 1-to-1, if you use it and it hits your stop and you lose $100, you know, that's a lot more salvageable than a 3-to-1 negative risk reward, you know. I can't wrap my head around the concept of doing stuff like that. Or I know some people do 5-to-1, and none of that makes a lot of sense to me. But if it works with their strategy, I guess. It's a lot harder to come back from a loss if you have a negative risk to reward that far away. Especially imagine trading something like that on NQ instead of MNQ. And I got that ATM set up to where it's two cons, so it's $100 move. If you just use one, it's a 50 to 50. If you want to keep your risk even tighter, and then, you know, if you can find 2-3 solid trades, you know, 2-3 solid trades with just one 50 to 50. And you win on all of them, and you hit your take profit, you're up to $150. And then maybe if your stop trails and stops you out, you're still in the green. And then if you stop out on 2 or 3 trades with one, you're down $150. It's not all in one hit though, you know. Maybe you take a hit on one of the trades and you're down 50, and then you hit on the next trade, you're break even, and next trade you're 50 in the green, next trade you're 100. So it just depends. It's all about risk management. I was just looking at that trend line, thinking that I got up and walked away to give my dog some water, and turned around and said, well, there's a trend line bounce. I hope everybody's had a pretty good trading day today. Hopefully everybody's green. Hopefully nobody's over trading, pressing buttons just to be pressing buttons. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Cole, I'm with you on that, especially on the 1 minute. It can be hard. You got to be almost scalping or something like Melinda was. I wasn't even looking at the screen. That is a nice bounce there. Trend lines are a pretty good tool to have in the arsenal. I particularly on the 1 minute mainly is about trend, but you know, I like my high time frame trend line, especially in confluence with other things such as the precision entry bounce and the imbalance zones and everything, pivots. I appreciate you being here, Melinda. Glad you had a great day today. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I could be done for the day, but like I said, I still have a couple fundeds that I want to get a little more in. At least get them in $100, $200 area maybe, and then I'll be done probably, unless I decide I want to try to pass some of these evals that are you can pass in one day, but I don't know if I'll mess with them or not. I ended yesterday with, I think 3 of my fundeds were in the red. I had gotten them in the red, I think 250, and then walked away from those, started trading some evals, and then later on in the day I come back and late in the day and got them back to $50. I think it was right around there, 50 in the red on them three. So I didn't want to push my luck, but 50 felt better than 250. Yeah. You know, we might have this little slow grind up here for a while here. We don't see what they do. The ATR says it's 22, but I don't believe that. It looks like 12 to me, but it might be. But they could just, you know, slow grind this to the top. Maybe come up here and hit this imbalance up here. It's a possibility for sure. You know, if you want to scalp some trades, that's about the only thing working for us right now, is maybe, you know, drop to the trend line and scalp long as this grinds to the upside. I don't personally see anything other than that right now that is worth anything. We either need to get us a move to the upside or move to the downside. You know, they come back down here, they could be testing a triple bottom down in here, or if they get back down here, they break that 930, then if they could break this 930 down here with some momentum, I would be thinking the 4-hour box and then this trend line down here to the downside. Plus we have imbalance down there all the way 820. I know it looks like it's a long ways away, but that's not much of a move at all for this. It's a couple hundred points, so we all know it could get there very fast. If it did get there with some speed, I'd be looking to go long, sweep of this high time frame trend line into this imbalance on the 1 hour. I think is that green box, I'm pretty sure is from a 1 hour chart, and go long. That's just a trade plan I would put on paper to be aware of. And, you know, we talk about some of these things while we're live, like we did yesterday, and the trade might not happen today, but just like we had that imbalance zone on the 1 hour yesterday, during the live stream overnight last night, it come down and hit that thing and made a 200 point move to the upside. Bounced right out of there, hit it, went straight up over like the next 20 or 30 minutes, 200 points. I kind of went over that this morning in the pre-market prep before the bell opened about what happened overnight with that. And so say we leave this down here and we might not come nowhere near it. That don't mean that this ain't going to play out sometime between now and the bell tomorrow. I seen that earlier Swang was in the chat, but I don't know if they ever answered. Maybe they're not on anymore. Slow and steady with it. Patience is key. Boring trading is profitable trading. If it seems boring, then that's usually when you're profitable. If there's a whole lot of excitement going on, then you're probably doing a lot of chasing, a lot of scalping, a lot of in and outs, a lot of stuff that you probably shouldn't be doing, and that turns into nightmarish red days. Profitable trading is more about putting the trade plan together and falling asleep at the computer waiting for price action to come to your plan. Not for your plan, not for it to not come to your plan, and so I'm going to start chasing it and making a plan up as you go. That's always bad for the account. You know, if anybody's new here and they're not in Discord, you know, come over to Discord for free. Check things out over there. You know, if you're part of other groups, let them know. Let them know. Come join the community. Trade with us live. Grow the community as big as we can. All become successful with it together. Learn at the same time. Learn from each other. We get the stream going and get it big enough and enough people on the daily and everything, and then join the Discord. There'll be some giveaways and whatnot done inside Discord, so all in due time. Just a slow grind. The ATR is down to 13. It must have really been around 12 or 13 back when I said it was, and it was showing 22. It's a little bit too slow for me right now to be trading. Try to hold tight and see if they can push to that imbalance zone up there. It's still quite a ways away. Isn't it just miserable to be watching the chart like this? Slow grind, slow grind to the upside. You got the 1 and 2 minute on the momentum indicator about to 80. The 5 minute is about 40, so it's got room to expand on the 5 minute, but no, swing is still here. Yeah, it's a slow grind. I think I fell asleep twice already while it's been doing that. I said, what if they get some expansion up into this imbalance up here? I wasn't expecting such a decent little move already like that. As slow grinding as it is. I might have to try my luck here on a short if we get up in here. Okay. Glad to have you back. I was just thinking about ending the stream a minute ago, but they're getting up into this area a little faster than I was thinking they was going to do after all this slow grind back here. Yeah, that was a nice move.
Order filled. Order canceled. Order submitted.
Forgot I had that ATM set on there.
Order filled. Order submitted.
Oh,
Order
I
filled.
thought that thing was about to freeze up, so I just closed the whole trade out. I seen it go through that order and it didn't trigger. I was like, I want out. And then, of course, it's going to drop. Man, oh man, I can't believe I just did that. Ooh-wee. Okay. Whatever. Well, I waited for it. I got a little bit. I was in the green, so I'm good with that. But look at that. I mean, we come straight into our imbalance that we found on the 5-minute. Hard rejection out of there. Beautiful rejection. Oh, I hadn't even been trading the account. Today's Thursday. I think I traded it some maybe yesterday. But I think I was losing too much focus on my trading I need to be doing, so I kind of got away from it a little bit. Was you trying to get filled at the top of that imbalance for the short, Cole? No, I'm mad at I'm kicking myself. I closed my trade out. But I've run into instances where something crazy happens on Ninja Trader, and as soon as I seen that candle go through that order and it did not trigger right away, I thought, here we go, something's going to freeze up, so I wanted to get out of it. And I missed a good move. That would have been a great base hit. I could have been done with them funded accounts. I guess I could still be done. They're green, but I didn't get quite the base hit that I was hoping for. I would have if I held on to it, but what do, you know? Now are they going to try to bounce off this 1-minute trend line again? I guess I need to move that. It's not in the right spot. About right there, where it needs to be. Man, what a rejection out of that. Waiting for that. I mean, the proofs on the chart easily left a lot on the table. I was out in that first red candle because it didn't trigger that order. And look at that drop. Nice. Oh, man. I did too. I missed it too, Swang. Or got out too soon to say. I hate that that happened. Especially after I sat here falling asleep waiting for it to get up there. Question is, are we going to tag the 50 EMA as a retest of the 50 and then reject for more downside here? That was a nasty leg down off of that push. You know, it come down, put in a lower low right here instead of a high, still a higher low. So they could be, and they might be trying to do us dirty here. We'll see. Now, if they take all this back after that leg down, then I'm just going to stay out because that ain't making a whole lot of sense on what they got going on. The ATR is back up to 27, 28. And I don't keep up with the news enough to know what's going on. So for all I know, there could be something going on in the news right now. And that right there is a count killer by itself. News. Wait, really? That was a 100-point move? Wow. What a move. We're oversold. Not too bad. I mean, there's expansion on the 1 minute, 2 minute, and 5 minute for more downside here. There's enough expansion on the 5 minute to break this low down here. So it'll be interesting to see what this is going to try to do here.
Order filled. Order submitted. Order canceled. Order submitted.
Push down. Let's go. Push down, push. Come on, you gotta break 989. Push hard. Push. There you go, keep going. Expand. Keep in mind tight. I want out if it flips it around.
Order filled.
All right. Hey, I got both the fundeds over $100 so far, so base hits, right? Base hits. Although I really see this shaping up into something. They're going to break this 930. If they don't protect this, they're going to break this, and we're about to see some real downside momentum probably. I don't know how much momentum we'll see up in this area, but for each one of these we crack, each crack makes the cracks bigger and bigger. If we crack this 4-hour box and get down to this golden pivot and bust and crack this box and this line, as soon as it breaks 930, it's going to go down fast. If it goes there. Not saying it's going to, but that's what I'm prepared for. With each one of them cracks, you'll see a little more. That's why I jumped in this short right here, is it was trying to break. I was thinking, man, if this breaks, we should find a little momentum. And we got down past this low. Same thing's going to happen. You get past this low, as soon as it cracks, you should get a decent little push, maybe down to the pivot and the line. Might get a little bit of a bounce, but one of these cracks is going to give away on these lows. And it's typically going to be 930, of course, because it's the low of the day. And then you're going to get break of structure continuation to the downside. Yep. Yeah, I was watching that, and did you see that candle when they threw that candle in? As soon as this candle closed, this thing wicked all the way down to there as soon as it opened. I was watching that pretty close, and that's what made me think we might be looking for a leg down, the reaction we got there. As hard as it opened like that. I mean, it opened and dropped, from 50 to 14, 13, 14, something like that. That's a big snap. All right, momentum right here. If we break at the bottom of this box, momentum down to the golden pivot into this box, maybe. If we break this low over here inside this box and get a hard push and close below 930, you need to start thinking about the 4-hour zone down here. Nothing's really looking up. I mean, the 1 and the 2 are oversold pretty heavy right now, but the 5-minute has plenty of room to expand, which says we could get some bounces in here, but it don't necessarily mean we're going to get a reversal yet. With that 5-minute having enough room to expand, if we find some momentum, that 5-minute can expand down to this 4-hour zone to this trend line for sure before it's heavily sold. Maybe not quite that far. Maybe down to this box. Somewhere between 930 and this 4-hour zone, the 5-minute, if it gets down here, will be oversold. I wonder if I put a sale there.
Order canceled. Order submitted.
926, and then
Order submitted.
oops, no, I'm not doing that. Hold on, Jared. Vindy, what are you doing there? All right, so I'm gonna put in this here because I'm looking for a hard break. If they do this,
Order submitted.
I want to be in short. I want it to break hard, pick me up short, and a hard down candle is what I'm looking to do here. I would not follow my results here because you just shouldn't. You should have your own trade plan together. Don't follow what I'm doing. The break is 930. My fill would be 925, hoping that they push hard enough past 930 that it gets one of them spike candles down. And since the whole number at 900, I put my order at 901 thinking we get the hard push, the crack, we should get the momentum that's going to push me straight into 900 pretty easy. I don't want to put it in a box because 900 could make it bounce temporarily. In the event that this does play out, that's what I want. Now, we do have a situation shaping up here where this is almost, not quite, but almost like a triple bottom. Well, this is a double bottom right here, for sure. This is. But then we have this one right back here. Wouldn't be the first time they put this play in motion before this happened, and they drive this all the way back up here somewhere. It is a possibility. It's also a possibility they drive this up and get close to the 50 EMA for another leg down. You have to think on the bull and the bear side and build your trade plan around the possibilities that are before you on the chart. I could see thinking, okay, maybe we need a short here at the 50 EMA if this bounces up there, but then you have to be careful because what if they don't sweep it and they continue this up? Then you need to be thinking about something up here. Now, something else that we're about to have some imbalance. Swing, which boxes exactly are you talking about? Because each box is something different. The 5-minute candle is about to close in just under 30 seconds. And we have some imbalance here. From about right here to from about right there to right there is in balance on the 5-minute chart. All right, Cole. Appreciate you showing up, buddy. We'll see you. Swing, I really cover all that's part of the precision trading course that I got out there. I really can't go at all in detail on line streaming. But them boxes are in balance zones. It's part of what I teach. And then the ones that you're seeing me draw, they're in balance zones. The colored ones, the pink ones, are 4-hour precision entry zones. The green ones can be precision or imbalance zones. There's just a lot. And then the big one, of course, is the range zone from the 15-minute candle at open. But I'm sorry, but I can't really do it. There's too many people that have the course, and it wouldn't be right for me to be streaming and going into detail about it. So it looks like they wanted to save it down here. I guess my idea there of maybe this happening to the downside, unless they come up here and fill this imbalance up here, which might be the case. So I'm going to sell one right there just in case. That seems to be the going thing. We've been putting in balance zones in, and they've been tagging them all day, it seems like. So maybe I get lucky, put that at the top there. See if I can grab a short out of that for another leg down. Oh man, hold on. No, don't do that. Had to fix my copy trailer. I had to switch. I switched out of them fundeds now that I got them base hits into the green. Switch back over to eval. Look at that. Right up into that imbalance zone. And look at that suck down. Are they going to push this leg down? Man, oh man. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. This is daily right here. It's all about structure. Understanding the structure of the chart. And that's a whole lot about what my course is, my precision trading course is about, is structure, precision, confidence. You know, structure means everything. I'm a 100% technical analysis trader. Always have been, probably always will be. I've tried other things, and at the end of the day, it's all about knowing structure on the chart. That was insane pull down out of that box. So I'm going to take that off. Uh-oh. Oh, look how close it is to that. Push it down real hard. Man, it looks like it filled it, but it didn't. Are we going to get this play? You got to break it. It bounced right off that low. Ain't that crazy? Man, it's another double bottom. What, I'm putting this down here because if they break and snap, this is going down. Come on, let's go. Y'all know y'all want to take his short. Expansion. Give us some expansion here. Maybe I think I'm going to try to go long down here. Cover that and go long with two. Hopefully they don't pierce right through that and take it down to that trend line right there. Even if they do, I'll I'll just dollar cost average in. We should be close to a bounce down here in this 4-hour zone, though, really. Beautiful trade. Beautiful.
Order submitted.
Come on, push down there. Come on, let's go. Come on, push.
Order filled. Order canceled. Order submitted.
Come on. Give us a bounce.
Order submitted.
Now we're oversold on the 1, 2, and 5 pretty heavy. And, you know, I'm going to look for them to try to do some kind of bounce. I mean, they got expansion room, but not very much, especially on the 5-minute. There's just not much expansion room left, but I did discuss they could come down here and get through this 4-hour zone and tackle this high time frame trend line down here. Could be a possibility. Yeah. Although we're quite the distance away from the 50 EMAs up there at 997, we're 100 points away. So, you know, I'm gonna factor in the fact that they're gonna try to retest this wick on this candle right here at least. So I'm gonna move this up to there. I'm hoping somewhere in here we get a bounce strong enough, because this is imbalance here already in this big down candle. We need to see this get some action. I appreciate that, Swine. They're really nice trades when you can reverse trade inside your zone and then it bounces hard. That's what I was kind of hoping for here. We still might get it. It's just got to find some legs under it here. It's just that trend line's awfully close down here. They might think, hey, we want to go down there. And like we had discussed earlier, they got this imbalance zone down here too. I mean, whew. I don't really need to be holding on to this trade all the way down here, but it's a eval, so I may risk that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really need to wreck the eval. I was already in the green in it. I could have been done for the day, but I think the risk to reward here might be pretty good, even if I got a dollar cost average into this thing. And even though we're talking through these trades and seeing the reactions, it don't necessarily mean that, you know, of course, that don't necessarily mean that's going to happen. I mean, at the end of the day, this thing could pierce through the trend line, pierce the imbalance zone, and keep going down. But for me, the risk to reward is good enough that if we get down, if it does this, I can dollar cost into it, and we should at least get a bounce, some kind of bounce that I'm able to scalp out of. Or, you know, a good enough bounce, say 20, 30, 40, 50 points even, for you to be able to get out and take profit, you know. We're just over 100 something points away from the 50 EMA. That's quite a distance. I mean, it can be more than that, but you know, I think we get down here around this trend line here. I'll start dollar cost averaging in, say on the trend line. And then they might sweep the line, say, come down here. And then if they get down into the box a little bit here,
Order submitted.
That'd be equal a mini there.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
I mean, we'll see. We hadn't had the bounce yet, but it is trying to find legs in the oversold territory. It really is. Now I'm going to move this one down though, right here at the top of this box, because if we do get a small pop here, I want to get out of at least, no, or at least one. That'll leave me with one, because if it does keep going against me here, I'd like to only have one whenever these get triggered on the downside. But that's fine if it don't. Either way, is I'm in the trade now, so we're going to walk through the trade.
Order fill.
Whoa, that's what I'm talking about.
Order
Protect myself there. Oh, how in the world did that happen? I don't think so.
Order
What just happened there? That's whatever. I'll go short. I don't care.
order fill.
Oh, I see what happened. My order quantity was set wrong. That's typical. Ooh, what are they trying to do now?
Order fill. Order fill. Order fill. Order fill. Order
Try and get me with that leg. Man, you gotta be kidding me.
Order
Come on, let's go.
fill. Order fill. Order submitted.
Well, I tell you what. What an ordeal that was. It's all right. We managed the trade, though, in real time there. Didn't get all freaked out about it. But I was trying to understand how I ended up short. My order quantity was set to 2, and that order was just 1 on the screen. So, covered and went short. So now what I got to be weary of is, what if I don't like, see how they almost tagged that trend line right there and got that bounce? That's a big bounce. So now I'm not going to be too certain about this right here at all, because this got so close to tagging me here. Huge. I mean, that's a 851 to 918, 70-point move or so right there in that 1 minute candle. Then I get in it short. So what's liable to happen here is they're going to come down here and either test this trend line and bounce again, or they're going to save it here, turn around, or they're going to bounce it here, or they're going to pierce that, fill this imbalance zone. Maybe. The reason I move my orders is because I'm not 100% certain on that trade now that we bounced right here. This could pierce this box if they want to take this down. And we are in an overall bearish trend, so you got to be a lot more picky about the longs that you take. If this was a bullish uptrend, then I would have left them orders there thinking, yeah, this is going to bounce. But I'm not so certain about that in the trend that we're in. Either way, we managed to trade, handled it just fine, even though we got the big candle. Ended up short somehow, so I decided to average in short. Got out of it, still put some more green in the eval. Still winning trade, Look at this. Of course, stop me out and go take another leg down. Why wouldn't you do that? Story of my life. All right, guys, I'm going to hop this over to the bigger time frame real quick. Because we need to see if we can get our eyeballs on something a little bigger, a little different time frame here. See what's going on below us. All right, so no, this green box is a 1 hour precision entry zone is what this is. This green box down here is imbalance on the 1 hour. And then there's a 4 hour zone right above it. So we got a whole lot of support down here if we get in this area, plus the S1 pivot is below the imbalance zone. It's questionable though that whether or not it could break through this box now that I'm on the 1 hour, because it come up here, got this leg down up here. So this is really a break of structure retest on the 1 hour, basically, pretty much is what this box will be. So it just depends on what they want to do on the 1 hour. If you look back here, look at this red candle they put in. Huge candle right here. They come and tap this 4 hour zone. I remember that happened, I think, just the other day. I remember them putting that in. I was like, wow. Suck that thing all the way back up. That was like 720 or so. And the thing closed around 800. So, I mean, 80 point move or better in a 1 minute candle there. Kind of like we just seen back here on this green candle. So it's going to be interesting, like I said, to see what they do with this precision entry zone right here on this. If we break that, we need to start thinking about the 4 hour box below it. And that's 725 to 735. Then balance zone is 688 to 720. And something else to think about is they could save this here, but these zones could be overnight action in the Asian session, just like last night when it came back and filled these zones. So looking at this up here, I mean, this is ugly. We got up there and tested it. It's the 200 area, 25,200. Testing it, and then look at this, huge, saying no, we don't like that area up there. We'll see you on the downside. So that's what we see below us. We're going to hop this down to the 5 minute real quick. And then we're going to take this trend line off here, clean this up a little bit. We're going to take that box off. We can take that one off. Take this one off. Looks I might have to try to play this long out of this precision entry zone, go in small maybe. See if they want to save this. We're still oversold, but it's going to have to build out some kind of, we got the flagpole here to the downside, and we need to see some kind of flag build in here, or a flag to the side, probably down into this box, and maybe find the bounce out of there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be watching for. And I might even yeah, this is the 5 minute. Yeah, I'm gonna say, excuse me guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try to take one. No, I'm gonna hold off. I'm not too sure about this. Let me get back over the 1 minute. See how that flag's shaping up. on the 1 minute. All right, so I don't know if you remember when I was back here, I was in this trade down here when we went down, and I'd put that sell in. I said it's going to come up here and touch this wick is what you'll usually see. Look at this green candle right here, and then this went in and wicked up, and look where that's at, wick to wick. They filled that imbalance on the 1 minute. Out of that short, one candle did it practically, and then a small wick. That's dead on the money of what I was talking about. What you'll look for is take profit is for them to fill this imbalance here and at least come back. And then they did it about 5 minutes later. I hope that all this information is useful and that I ain't just rambling on. Because I'd be talking all day long about charts. I probably really could. I've sure had a lot of screen time, that's for sure. Very interesting right here. What if they break this? If they break that low, man. That low is just below this box, that other low. I guess when I was on the 5 minute, I should have put a line there. Say about 812. If they crack 812, then we need to be thinking about that, and maybe down here some areas where maybe some areas, if they do break 812, some areas where they could either pierce through or bounce. You know, nice job, Cole. Nice job. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get some of them longer runs, you know. Don't get me wrong. All right, so we're breaking the 812. If they can break this strong, it could possibly go straight to the 793 area and maybe find a little bit of help, support maybe. Unless they save it right here. It ain't looking like they will. And then you got to be wary that even if they act like they're going to and put in a 70-point candle like that, it don't really mean much right now. You know, we might find a little there. I don't know. They could pierce through it. And if they do pierce through this hard, you should find something around 760 down here. Maybe some support. It could still do it there too. And then get down here to this 4-hour zone. I don't really know that I want to take any more trades. Already green across the board, but I got some evals that I could put up a little more risk on, I reckon, and I might just do that. Let's see how this plays out. All right, swept that low, get this push. Still, once again, I mean, got to be wary of whatever this does here. They need to start building structure here now. As far down as we've come, we need to see some structure built on the 1 minute and take that with a grain of salt for right now. Ultimately, from right here, you can move 100 points to the 50 EMA, get a sweep, and take another leg down. It is looking pretty good on the 1, 2, and 5 minute momentum indicator, though. That it could get a decent push, maybe. You know, maybe come up here and break 852 like this, I guess. And then see from there, because say they can break here and look like they keep some legs and then break 75, 875, 876, you could get the push to the 50 EMA. It could all happen pretty fast as well.
Order filled.
I'm going to test that theory and see if they want to put structure behind it. You know, they could try to tackle this structure here. That's 900 though, and that's 912. Yeah, they could wick out and tap it. We'll see what they want to do. I'm going to go with that there. See if they get the legs. Now they got the indicators are in the right area. You know, if they can find their bearings here,
Order filled.
we could see some action to the upside. Or it could just be a leg down.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Yeah, the momentum indicators are trying to roll back over here. Not looking real good. Not looking real good for the bounce. Ooh, should have never took the break of structure play there. They faked me out. See if I can find some legs here. Ain't looking the greatest, that's for sure. I'm going to take my loss there while I'm still in the green. on that account, and I had to reposition here and see what I want to do here.
Order filled.
Maybe I got out too soon. If they find some legs down here, we could get a decent push. I'll go on sell 3 there.
Filled.
Scalp out and get my little bit of green back. Come on up here and push.
Order submitted.
Push.
Order filled. Order canceled.
I guess not. When I said little bit of green, it was a little bit. Excuse me.
Order filled.
I'm gonna start doing some scalping here and see if they try to work this,
Order submitted.
work their way back up here.
Order submitted. Order filled. Order submitted.
See if they find some legs in here. Push this higher.
Order filled. Order submitted.
Oh, it's a whole hour. 12 o'clock. I got some ground to make up on this account. And I about took it all the way down to red on the day. Was doing good in it. See if I can get some legs here and expand on up. They need to fire down on it and give us a hard push up. I'll take 2 there if they come up here. And then try to hold on the 2. If we can get the expansion here, this will probably be the last trade I take, maybe. Nice. Because I got this one back. I got everything back that I had lost already. As long as I can stay out in the green here. But I want to give it enough room to move. See if they give us a big push out of here. Because if they take this structure out right here, we're probably going to the 50 EMA. Alright, so I'm going to look for something like this. But we got to take that big structure out up there. Let me protect myself.
Order submitted.
Nope.
Order canceled.
Just one.
Order submitted.
Finding some resistance in here. They're going to have to push hard. I don't know if they got it in it, but we'll see.
Order
All
failed.
right, no. Well, I didn't get it all back, but still back. Doing good in it. I'm going to stay away from that one, I think. I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here, guys, and maybe come back if I got time and maybe mess around in Power Hour, possibly if it looks good. But appreciate everybody being here today. If you're looking for evals, you can use code FTE at Bullinox or Trade Day. And if you're looking for the way that I trade and what I'm talking about, the precision trading course is on gumroad.com, plus indicators for TradingView and NinjaTrader that I built. I hope everybody stays green today. I enjoyed everybody being with us today, and I will adjust those settings on the YouTube today on the stream when we get off. I'll adjust those settings, and hopefully tomorrow we can tighten up the lag a little bit there. Hopefully we can get it within maybe 5-10 seconds or something like that. That'd be great, maybe even better. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time.